Hey, Dr. Glenn Davies coming to you again from the greenhouse. Gardens outside looking pretty good. Vanessa doing the watering. All right, so what I want to talk about now is metabolic health. Metabolic health. So what do I mean by that? I mean that your liver is healthy, your gut is healthy, and the mitochondria, which are the little power stations inside most of the cells of the body, that they are functioning optimally. And this involves having the correct fuel. So that's what I want to talk about. What is metabolic health? So before I do, what would it feel like to be metabolically healthy? So you would have energy. You would have all the energy that is appropriate for your age. I think that's really the key. Imagine energy, imagine mental clarity, and imagine a lack of inflammation. Inflammation is what causes our joints to hurt. We wake up stiff in the morning. That's all about inflammation. So that's what would happen if you were metabolically healthy. Now, what might we do to check if you're metabolically healthy? And I've written a few things down. So I'm going to start with the blood tests. So let's start with the liver function test. So ALT. So ALT looks for fatty liver. It tells us if the liver is turning carbohydrate into fat. So if your ALT is low, it's likely that you do not have fatty liver. Now AST, one of the other liver enzymes, that tells us about mitochondrial function. If your AST is low, it's likely that your mitochondria are processing fuels properly. Uric acid, that's just a really good measure of metabolic health. It's associated with gout, but you can also use it as a measure of general metabolic health. Now CRP, this test is so useful. That tells us about inflammation. And like I said before, inflammation is your joints hurting. So if we can get inflammation low with a whole food diet, exercise, stress management, sleep, we're going to feel so much better. Now HbA1c, now you'll know about this with diabetes. This tells us how well we're processing carbohydrates and whether we're insulin resistant or not. It's a really essential test. I won't go into too much detail about it because it's a big topic, but that's really important. Now, my favorite, fasting triglycerides. This is what tells me if you are metabolically healthy or not, predominantly. So triglyceride is the amount of fat that your body is making from carbohydrate. Now I'll say that again because it's important. The amount of fat that your body is making from carbohydrate, that's the fasting triglycerides. And I want to see that really, really low. And what's really important is the ratio between triglyceride and HDL. That needs to be less than 0.87. So remember that, 0.87. If your triglyceride to HDL ratio is less than that, then your cholesterol is in the healthy form. We do not have small dense LDL, we have healthy LDL. We are not building up plaque in our arteries. We're reducing our risk of stroke and heart attack. Now, fasting insulin and C-peptide. So what's behind all of this is insulin resistance and hyperinsulinemia. Insulin is the fat storage hormone. We want insulin really, really low so that we burn our stored fat. So you can measure insulin and its brother, C-peptide, in a blood test. So those tests will give me a really, really good idea of how you are metabolically, but also some really simple stuff. What is your abdominal circumference? An even simpler test, if you walk into a wall and your tummy hits first, you probably have insulin resistance. And then what are we going to do about it if we find that you have some metabolic health problems, you have some aspect of metabolic syndrome? Almost certainly we're going to be prescribing a whole food diet. And my favorite is the ketogenic diet. That lowers carbohydrates really, really low. And when people are producing ketones, I know that they're burning fat. So that's what I love about managing people on a ketogenic diet. They can send me their ketones and I know that they are burning fat. They have to have low insulin to be producing ketones. They will be losing weight. They will be becoming metabolically more healthy. So that's what I mean by being metabolically well. And I think everybody, every single human being deserves the right to be metabolically well, to feel energetic, to have mental clarity, to have motivation, to sleep well, to manage their emotions well, to form excellent relationships, and to create community. So that's a little thought about what it means to be metabolically well. And basically that's what we do at Reversal NZ. Thank you.